Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kassi Malkin here, your favorite Colorado realtor, and I have a special guest today.
I'm Jessi Case with CMG Home Loans.
This is the gal I've been telling you about that does soft credit pull applications. I love when my buyers can do all their research before committing to buying a home, and Jessi and her team allow that. Jessi and I both are Colorado natives, so we have lived here our entire lives. And what we wanted to do today is make a video for all of you people from out of state, just truly explaining the different locations and areas that you could live and why might one place be better than the other. I think one of the many reasons why people move to Colorado is because it gives you a little bit of everything.
Exactly. You can have access to mountains, major sports teams, city life, hiking, anything you really want. And there's a lot of communities that feel very suburban, and there's a lot of communities that feel very rural.
The biggest thing people don't realize about Colorado is that if you're anywhere from Denver to Fort Collins, which is considered northern Colorado, it's actually a very big change in scenery and lifestyle. And so we really wanted to touch on what that looks like if you're looking to relocate here.
So I live in Sloan's Lake in Denver, which is 5 minutes from the city. That's the cool thing about Denver, is that you can kind of pick the suburban neighborhood you want, all while being 5-10 minutes away from the actual city, where we have our sports teams, where we have the downtown life, if you like that. But you're also, near lakes and walks and neighborhoods where you can raise your kids.
Would you say that Denver is close to the mountains if people are looking for like the ski lifestyle or the summer mountain town vacation?
Yes, for sure. Denver is 45 minutes to an hour from any mountain you can ski. It's super easy access. You literally hit one road, drive all the way up it, and you're there. So it's super easily accessible for you skiers, snowboarders, anything along those lines.
And then what about for people who might travel for work? Is DIA pretty accessible from Denver if you're living there full time?
Yeah, DIA is only 20-30 minutes away from the airport.
And is there any like public transportation you can take to the airport?
Yep, we have train systems, we have shuttles, we have all the public transportation that you would need to get to the airport. All you have to do is buy a super cheap ticket to get on the train.
Love that. And then my other question about Denver would be the job market. I know a lot of people move to Denver for jobs, but from your personal experience, what do you think about the job market in Denver?
I think the job market in Denver is awesome. We have something called the Denver Tech Center, where it houses a lot of the big companies that employ a lot of people here. A lot of people who move to Denver do move here for work. That's because there's a ton of opportunity, even all the way to northern Colorado, but Denver is a huge hub for work opportunities.
We will make a separate video on each individual Denver suburb, as it's going to take way too much time to put it into this video since we're trying to capture Denver to northern Colorado. So click on my other video of Denver suburbs if you're looking to move to Denver specifically. Now we're going to head a little bit more north. I was someone who just recently moved from Broomfield. This is a suburb that's 15 minutes north of Denver, Colorado, and it offers a lot more of that family feel while being only 15 to 20 minutes outside of downtown Denver, which is great. Something really cool about Broomfield is that it's in its own county. So it's 3 square miles of county, and this makes it a lot more accessible for you when it comes to voting, car registration, getting married, anything that has to do with government. Broomfield makes it really, really easy, yet you are right in the middle of all the hustle and bustle, and people do love that. If you're someone who's maybe working a tech job in Boulder or a CU student that's in Boulder, Colorado, Broomfield is a very lovely location to live that is a lot more affordable than Boulder, and Broomfield's only about 15 minutes outside of Boulder, so it's a really sweet spot location-wise. Let's keep going a little bit more north. So what we've talked about so far is Denver in itself. On your way to Broomfield, there's towns like Thornton and Westminster. Thornton's going to be primarily on the east side of I-25, while North Glen and Westminster are primarily on the west side of I-25. This also matters too. A lot of people think, or when I get people relocating, they'll ask, why does being on the west side of I-25 matter? Truly, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I would say the west side of I-25 is developed, or is more developed than the east side of I-25. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
So with that being said, if you're someone who's looking for maybe more 80s, 90s, early 2000s builds or something with more infrastructure that's already put in place, the west side of I-25 is going to be a really good option for you. Also, it is closer to the mountains. Some people want to ski every weekend. They want to camp every weekend. They want to take advantage of Colorado's lifestyle and amenities, and if that's you, the west side of I-25 is really going to suit you and your lifestyle. If you're someone who maybe commutes more for work, you're at the airport quite frequently, you know, maybe you want a lower purchase price of home, I would look more on the east side of I-25, as this is more Brighton, Thornton, Commerce City, places that you can get to the airport in as little as 10-15 minutes. Let's talk about places like Louisville, Superior. These are all going to be in between Broomfield and Boulder. So when you're on your way from Broomfield on 36 to Boulder, you're going to hit towns like Superior and Louisville. Both of these towns are super duper cute, but they definitely do come with a big price tag. Sometimes even townhomes in these areas will be $800,000 to $900,000. So a little bit less bang for your buck there. The bang for your buck comes when we talk about lifestyle. So again, biking trails everywhere. If you're someone that likes to hike, fish, camp, be outdoors, this is going to be super duper accessible for you if you live in a place like Louisville or Superior. Louisville also has a really, really cute downtown. If you've ever been, it's incredibly adorable. They've got really great places to eat. I went to a barbecue place the other weekend. It was insanely good. They've got coffee shops, cute little downtown houses that'll be like Victorian style, bungalow style. Downtown Louisville has all of that, and it's a very, very sweet, quiet, cute community for sure. And also very underrated. I feel like people don't talk about Louisville a lot.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing I would add is Longmont, Erie, Louisville, all those places is literally the exact halfway point between Fort Collins in northern Colorado, which is a huge hub, and Denver, Colorado. So if you want a place where Denver is still really easily accessible, but you have a northern Colorado feel, these like middleman areas are a great place to be.
Absolutely. You'll get that family traditional lifestyle, the suburban feel, and be really close to downtown Denver if you're like, I want to catch an Avs game, or hey, you know, today we're going down to DU to watch a sporting event, support the college. It's all 30 to 40 minutes away from your house if you're going to live in any of these areas, which is really great. So you can still go into the city, have your fun, and come back home to quiet.
Yes.
Now let's go a little bit more north. So we've touched on everything from Denver all the way to Longmont. This is going to be your true halfway point in Longmont. It's kind of what separates everything. If we continue going more north, you're going to have towns like Johnstown, Berthoud, Loveland, Fort Collins, Windsor, Severance, Nunn, Pierce, Greeley. All of these are part of the northern Colorado area. When people say North Denver Metro, they're talking about towns all the way from Denver to Longmont. Anything north of Longmont is what we truly consider northern Colorado. And this is because after you have passed Longmont, you are now a good hour away from downtown Denver. Not a bad drive, pretty easy in my opinion, would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
I-25 can get a little bit backed up, especially during rush hour, as it's our main interstate anywhere Denver north, so it can get backed up. However, it's really not a bad drive. We personally moved to Berthoud, Colorado. This is what is considered the garden community of northern Colorado. This is because Berthoud was known for its farming past and farming present. It's still very much a farm town. It's got a really cute little downtown strip. We just went to Berthoud Day last weekend. This happens the first Saturday of every June. It's just a really cute community parade. The firefighters come, they bring their horses. The high schools have their float. It's a really, really cute day. Berthoud is going to be a little bit more, if you're someone who's like, I want acreage, maybe I want some livestock, I would highly recommend you looking at places like Berthoud or Johnstown. Johnstown is being developed currently, so as I'm saying this, more houses and subdivisions are coming in. However, they still do have a lot of acreage opportunities. Same with Greeley, would you agree?
I would agree with, yeah. I think Greeley's really up and coming right now too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Greeley, fun fact, we have the minor league hockey team here in northern Colorado. They're called the Colorado Eagles. And that stadium is actually moving to Greeley. So it was in Loveland. They're building a new stadium in Greeley. It's in the works, got a little muddy there for a little bit, don't really know the update. But it's called Cascade, and this is actually going to be a development with hockey, an arena, residential, food, dining, shopping. So it's actually going to be a lot more than just a stadium, which is super cool. And that's going to bring a lot of traffic and higher prices and equity to homeowners there just because it's such a big attraction. There are 2 major colleges here in Colorado. One of them is the University of Colorado, which is in Boulder. That is a very big Division I university. A lot of students go there for engineering. And then if you go more up north, the other big college here is CSU. That's Colorado State University. Go Rams, if you've ever heard of them. They are known for their agriculture and animal science department. Am I right on that?
You are right, yeah.
So they're going to be more of the farm studies and livestock studies. Both of these schools are Division I, but both of them bring a totally different feel to their communities. CU Boulder is going to be very much more sort of frat, sorority, party. CU Boulder is going to be a lot more expensive. CSU brings very much a college town vibe, not in a bad way where it's really loud and noisy and crazy, more so in a way that there is a lot of really good shopping, dining, nightlife, if you want to call it that, on College Avenue. So that's the main strip that runs through Fort Collins. It's called College, and we locals refer to it as Old Town Fort Collins. So there's going to be a lot of thrift stores, good food, good drinks. There are some bars that stay open really late. Really cute places to get ice cream, hang out with the family, go on walks. So if you're looking for somewhere that's not necessarily a sleepy town, because Fort Collins is definitely not that, but it offers some of those family-friendly amenities, Fort Collins is a really great option for you. And it does not have the same price tag as somewhere like Boulder. Yes, the housing is definitely more expensive in Fort Collins than other Northern Colorado locations, but it's not going to be as pricey as Boulder.
True.
Jessi and I both grew up in Northern Colorado, specifically Loveland, Colorado.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool stuff in Northern Colorado. We are 30 minutes away from Estes Park, which is up in the mountains. It's one of the coolest towns ever. Literally Loveland sits right at the base of it. We have Sweetheart Winery, which is a really cool wedding venue, but someplace that you can also just like go have wine next to the river and like see elk and deer, and it's so neat. Downtown Loveland has a ton of awesome restaurants, bowling, axe throwing, like all kinds of really cool family-friendly things that you definitely don't want to miss when you come here.
Absolutely. I would say too, nature-wise, there's so many hidden gems up north that people just don't know about, like Horsetooth Lake. That is going to be, I think it's about a 7-mile long lake, and it's surrounded by mountainous nature, so it kind of sits in a valley. It's really gorgeous. There's houses you can purchase there, or if you just want to take your boat out on the lake for the day, you can. They also have rentals there. There's a ton of hiking to do along what we call Devil's Backbone, or you can just simply hike or bike around Horsetooth Lake, which is super cool. I'm actually going to touch on Timnath and Windsor as well, because these are 2 very much up and coming spots at the moment. Windsor, Colorado was developed by a developer named Martin Lynn, and he also conveniently lives in the Windsor area. So the unique thing about this in Northern Colorado is that the developer lives where he's developing. So a lot of the things that have been developed are very intentional. So Windsor in particular is what we call a golf cart community. Within the city limits of Windsor, you can actually golf cart to almost anything. There's 3 different neighborhoods, 2 different golf courses, restaurants, gas stations, coffee shops, liquor stores, and they're all golf cartable. So if you're someone who loves the golfing lifestyle, Windsor is really where it's at, and it's a super cool development. There's even a resort style pool, which is extravagant. And then if you head towards Timnath is very much a ranching community that was built on farming, and it also has a really cute main street, but that's another location that is 100% up and coming. They have a golf course called the Harmony Club, which houses a lot of $1 million plus homes. It's a luxury gated community, as well as your traditional suburbs with townhomes and single family houses, and then just a really darling little downtown. And what I must highlight about Timnath, Colorado is Pedro's Coffee Shop. They have a donkey on site named Pedro, and you can you can eat your food and sip your coffee with your friends and Pedro. The kids love him. He's super cute.
So now we're going to end this video with what your money buys. Okay. This is probably the #1 question that we get in real estate. What can I actually get for my budget? Generally speaking, the further north you go, the cheaper the houses get. So you get a little bit more bang for your buck.
For example, if you're looking in a Denver suburb like Arvada for acreage, you are definitely going to be over $1 million, and this could be for a fixer-upper. If you go up north to a place like Berthoud or Loveland, you might be able to find acreage and a shop for under $1 million move-in ready. There are a couple things to consider though. Denver is more of an established community, so you're not going to find as many metro tax districts, which are higher tax rate neighborhoods. In Northern Colorado, you definitely will. Northern Colorado is very much being developed right now in a lot of different ways. So a lot of new built communities, a lot of new subdivisions, and these come at a price, which is a metro tax. Okay, we're gonna talk about a couple things that people don't expect when they come to Colorado. The first thing is traffic. Jessi, talk about that.
People think Colorado is all mountains and all open space, but that is not the case. We have a road called I-25 that can get very backed up. That's our main commute road. The way Colorado is kind of built is not on like a circular basis. It's all in one line, and it's all on what we call I-25. So Northern Colorado and then everything along it, and then Denver. That's how we're built. You have to take I-25. There's really no way around it.
Yeah. So if you're gonna move here, be prepared for the traffic. There are ways to avoid it. You will get used to it. Don't let us scare you. Number 2 is gonna be the altitude. So if you don't know already, Denver is considered the mile-high city, and everything around it is very similar in altitude. So even if you're moving in Northern Colorado or to Denver, you're gonna be about a mile high from sea level, which means move here, get acclimated to the altitude, and then figure out if it's a place that you want to live.
If you're planning on traveling to the mountains, definitely be prepared for that, even more so, because from a mile high, we just keep going up.
Yep, all the way up to 14,000 feet in the air.
And third, weather. We get over 300 days of sunshine in Colorado. It is so cool. You see the sun every single day here. Even when it snows, there is sun. We, a lot of times, will see a big snowstorm and then it all melt within a couple days because of the really strong sunshine here.
Yes. The cool thing about Colorado, if you're not aware, is we have the Rocky Mountains, and what do the mountains do? They push air through our state very quickly. We're also surrounded by Nebraska and Wyoming, which tend to be windier states. So weather here changes within 10 to 15 minutes very regularly. I had some folks move from Wisconsin to here, and Wisconsin tends to get the same weather for days at a time, and they were very shocked. When we had a snowstorm, the next 10 minutes it was sunny, and then the next 10 minutes after that, the snow was gone. Yep. So that's the beauty about Colorado, is you get to experience all 4 seasons, sometimes in one day.
Yeah. Get ready to start with your heat in your car in the morning and then turn it to AC later in the day.
Absolutely. Also, always be prepared to pack a change of clothes. I'll start in an outfit like this for the day, and I might have to put on a jacket by this afternoon for the afternoon rainstorms.
So true.
Yeah. But we love that here, and that's what makes living in Colorado so incredible.
If you're looking to relocate anywhere from Northern Colorado to Denver, click the link below.
And as always, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm posting all about being an investor, buying a home, or selling a place here in the Colorado area. Ciao for now.